Hi, you guys. Tonight for supper, I'm making stir fry, and this is probably one of the staples in our house. My kids have grown up on it, so I'm going to walk you through how to do it. And there's a lot of things that you can change up as you do this. So let's kind of stand back so you can get a look at the board for the recipe. Okay, so you guys have a lot of choices when it comes to the stir fry. Meat is optional, so if you're vegan, then you don't have to put meat in this, and it's going to also taste delicious. If you are wanting to add meat, we usually choose between chicken, pork, or beef. I prefer to stay away from pork myself, but any of these three meats will taste really good in this. The other choice that you have is rice or noodles. It's going to work really well with both of these. It just really comes down to your preference and your time, maybe what you have in the house. So optional for the meat, and then you choose if you are going to do this with rice or noodles. Some of the things that you must have is soy sauce, okay? And then choose your own adventure when it comes to the vegetables. And here are some of the ones that I use. I use onion, carrot, broccoli, cauliflower, peppers, depending on who's eating, not everybody likes peppers, cabbage. I love cabbage in stir fry. It's really nice. Mushrooms, take them or leave them, cilantro, and snap peas. So these are some of the things that we can use. We're not going to use all of these tonight, but I want you guys to just keep in mind that, like, if it's a vegetable that you like, you can probably put it in the stir fry. And then the other thing that you absolutely must have for this is the flavor base. And I always use oil, and I use fresh ginger that I grate up, and I use garlic that I mince. That's what I do. Now, once you have your noodles, your meat, and this all done, you can choose how you want to make your sauce. You can either buy a package of stir-fry sauce, it's a package of powder, you put it on, you add some sugar or water or whatever. Or if you don't want to do that and you want to do it from scratch, you can use Worcestershire sauce, brown sugar, and soy sauce. And then in order to thicken that up, you would use cornstarch. And that would thicken your sauce if it was kind of runny. So I'm just going to give you a little quick look at the board again. So choose your meat, choose your rice or noodle, choose your vegetable, and the things that you must have are oil, ginger, garlic, soy sauce, and then you have to have something for your own sauce, either the pre-made packages or these four items. So your Worcestershire, your brown sugar, soy sauce, and then cornstarch to thicken it up. So I'm going to take you over, show you the things that we're going to use today, get it all prepped up, and then we're going to get cooking. So see you in a minute. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys some of the stuff that I am using to cook today. Let's see here. All right, we are going to use chicken. We're doing chicken today. And we have chosen to go with noodles. This is the kind of noodles that we're using. It's like a stir-fry noodle. It says instant noodle, but this is just the kind of noodles that we use to make stir-fry. So what's going to happen with these is we're going to boil these until they're soft, and then they get thrown into the stir-fry, and I'll show you how that. I'm using 2 packages. And the vegetables that we've chosen for tonight are carrots. Not this many, but some of them. We are going with a head of, come on you, broccoli. I'm going to use all of this broccoli, the full head. Let's see, what else did we pick up? Some cauliflower. Looks like I've been given a package of mushrooms to put in this. And for the stir-fry sauce, I am going to use a stir-fry package. Although the Worcestershire and brown sugar and soy sauce is really easy, basically all you do is put it on top and stir it and taste it and see what you need to add more of or less of to flavor it. But today I'm using a stir fry pack. I'm using one of these because it tastes good. And then, what else do we have going on here? I also have a big root of ginger. I'm probably going to use about like this much of it, and I'm going to grate that. And then I have a bulb of garlic, and I'm probably going to use 4 or 5 cloves of this, maybe 6. We like garlic. It'll give a lovely flavor to it. And then I'm also going to throw in an onion. Where's my onions? Oh, there's one. We got 1 onion, but we also really like onion. I might see if I can pull out some cabbage too. So I think that gives you guys a good idea of what I'm putting in. I'm going to get this all chopped up. I'm going to show you how we're going to do it, and then we are going to rock and roll, stir fry style. Okay, so I just want to show you guys that this is how much ginger I'm going to use, and I'm just going to take some of the skin off. So I'm just going to take my knife. I'm just going to take some of the skin off of this. There's not all the parts that I love. You don't really have to take all the skin off, but I just had a little piece on mine that looked like that, and I just wanted to trim that down. It smells so good. You can tell right from the second you're taking off the skin how good it smells. I'm going to just trim the ends, and I'm going to trim the little rough sides. And that's all I'm going to do. I'm going to leave some of the skin on my ginger. I don't know if there's medicinal properties to the skin, but just in case there is, let's tap into those. What else? I did find some cabbage, so I'm going to add some cabbage to mine. So this is how much garlic I'm going to use. And I'm going to mince that up. And this is about how many onions I'm going to do. About 3 to go with the rest of my vegetables. Too much is better. Like, if you don't have enough food to go around, then people are always wanting for more. I'm going to prep this up, and I'll be back in a minute. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with the concept of food as medicine, but some of these meals that I cook, that's what I think about when I make the meals. I think of food as medicine, and when it comes to stir fry is one of them that I consider food as medicine. So I've got the ginger grated up right there, and I'm just crushing the side of the garlic with the flat of my blade, and then I'm just going to cut it up. It's going to be minced. So mince is a really tiny chunk. You know, diced is like a little square. Minced is really little. So that's what I'm going to do. If you had a garlic press, you could just stick it in your garlic press. And I do have a garlic press, but I don't like cleaning it, so I'm just going by hand. And yeah, that's all I wanted to tell you guys. Food is medicine. See you in a minute. Just while I'm chopping the ginger, or the garlic, you know, you could buy garlic that's pre-minced and in a container. I find that garlic has a different flavor than fresh garlic. When you just peel your bulb, you just get it right from the earth. I find that garlic has a lot different flavor, and it's what I prefer to use. Now, if you are in a hurry or you're terrible with a knife and you have no desire to get better, then go ahead and buy the stuff in the jar, by all means. It just does give a little bit of a different flavor. And, you know, that stuff is in a jar of whatever and preservatives. And if you're using food as medicine, then, you know, I'm not sure if that kind of garlic has the medicinal properties. Anyways, that's all I had to say about that for now. Okay, so I'm ready to chop up the onions. I'm just going to show you how I've done this. So basically, let's see, where is one onion? I've taken my onion and I've peeled it, and then I've chopped it in half, And what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay it like this, and I'm going to cut it lengthwise like that. And it's going to give me these little rainbows of onions. And that is how I'm going to cut up my onions. I find that onions minimize quite a bit. So although you may be thinking to yourself, wow, 3 onions is a lot, they're really going to reduce. They're going to reduce. And so it's not going to seem like a lot. Now, mind you, how many people am I feeding tonight? Like an army. Let's see, we have 4 adults and 3 medium-sized children. So that's a fair number. Okay, we're just going to continue here in a sec. Oh, I always, usually on days when I cut onions, I have mascara on, but thank goodness not today. I found a bit of cabbage in the fridge, and so lucky for the folks eating tonight, they're going to get some cabbage in the stir fry. So I'm just going to cut this down into ribbons as much as I can without getting, you're going to have to cut this core out, like the core of the, see the core of the cabbage there? It's too tough to eat. So we're not eating that. I'm just going to cut around it to make ribbons if I can. This is going to give some really lovely color to our stir fry tonight. You know, we feed this even to our elementary age children, and they eat the cabbage. So don't be afraid to add the cabbage. I mean, if you go look at some of my other videos, I talk about a meal plan. You guys, your kids will eat what you serve them. You know, if you make them eat what you serve them, they will learn to like what you cook. I'm just saying. That's going to be a choice you make as a parent. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys how I'm going to cut the broccoli. They're going to be kind of big. So I have my head here, and I'm just going to go to the base, and I'm going to cut my pieces of broccoli off, just like that. You can eat the stalks of broccoli. You don't need to throw those away. Like, if we're talking food as medicine, eat your broccoli. Eat the stalks. You're good. Sometimes, if I have broccoli that has really long stalks, you can see how the inside of this is kind of soft. You could even peel the hard part off if you have really long stalks. We, in our family, we have a broccoli maniac. One of our little guys just loves broccoli. It's always a fight for who can have the most broccoli. If you don't believe me, go and watch World Championship Slowest Eaters competition. Like, you'll see these kids eat the broccoli. We probably will record mealtime tonight eating this stir fry. So you might be able to find that. I think I posted a link in one of the other videos, but maybe I will in this one too if we decide to record and eat while we eat our mealtime. It's kind of nice if you're eating alone. You may as well join our family in our kitchen and have a meal with us. You know, nothing wrong with that. Have a little. It's good to have people around. We need people. So now I'm slicing these. I'm giving more length to these broccolis. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing there, but like I said, we have a little fellow around here who loves broccoli. It's always a fight for more broccoli. So I have to make this into quite a few pieces. You know, and I'm not taking these stalks off. Like, this is as long as I'm leaving my broccoli. So that's good. I'm gonna finish this up, and then I'm gonna start peeling my mushrooms, and I'll come back in a minute. All right, I'm just getting prepped up here on the cauliflower. So I'm going to cut the base of that off. I'm going to peel away most of these leaves. What I really want to do is get down to the florets. I don't know if you can eat this or not. Maybe one of you guys knows if you can eat it. We're not eating it. But I bet you could. I'm not sure how good it would taste. So once I get down to the bottom here like this, I am going to cut this guy in half. And then you can see how the inside of the cauliflower looks. That's easy. I'm just going to cut down around this base. And these cauliflower florets are going to come off. Look at this. Just like that. And all of a sudden, we have all these florets that just easily break apart and pull apart. I am not going to pull them all and break them apart right now because I'm going to do that when I put them in the stir fry. They don't need a lot of cutting. You just need to basically release them from the middle. See, that once that's released, these things just pull right off. It's awesome. Awesome and easy. Okay, so there's that. Okay, I'll be back in a sec. Alright, I'm getting ready here to do the mushrooms. You guys, if you've ever watched any of my other videos about mushrooms, you know that I like them peeled. And so, peeling a mushroom is pretty simple, although these stalks are... You basically take that part, and see, you can just get your finger under there, and it peels the skin right off of your mushroom. Just that easy. I don't like to eat the skin of the mushrooms. Mushrooms aren't grown in poop. Poop is gross to eat. So we just peel the skin right off. Chook, just like that. Okay? So I'm going to do that with this whole pack of mushrooms. Just peel the skins right off of them. It's going to take me a minute. If you're using mushrooms, it's going to take you a minute, unless you choose not to, in which case I highly recommend wash them really well. And so I'll pause the video while we all take care of mushrooms or whatever other vegetable we're cooking with today. Okay, so I have just taken the mushrooms, I've peeled them, and then I've cut them in half. That's all I've done. Okay, so let's do a little recap. We have the red cabbage, we have broccoli, we have mushrooms and cauliflower, we have onions, ginger, and garlic, and I am about to do some carrots. What I'm going to do is I'm going to chop the ends off my carrots, and then I'm going to peel them, and then I'm going to cut them. And so I'll prep them by cutting the tops and bottoms off first and peeling them, and then I'll see you in a minute when we're cutting them. Okay, so you guys, I have the carrots ready, and this is how I'm going to cut them. I'm going to lay the carrot down, and then I'm going to go sort of lengthwise along it like this. And you see how these carrots come out? They come out looking like that. So they look like you've just cut a huge carrot, but it's not. It's just your regular little one. That's what I'm going to do with all these. And then we're going to get rocking and rolling on the cooking because I had told everyone we were eating, and I'm a little behind. Okay, so we have our pile of carrots done, and now we are going to get our chicken done. I'm going to have to probably keep this tray out of here. Let's take that bottom. All right, so for the chicken, I'm just cutting it up. No big deal. Just however you want. Bigger pieces, smaller pieces, diced, cubed, I don't know. I don't really think that cubed stuff looks very good in stir fries, but maybe you're making a cubed stir fry. You do you. I like these sort of on a diagonal and thinner strips. It's nice to be able to pick it up with chopsticks, which is my preferred utensil for eating this. Especially when you have noodles, right? Yeah. So let's put that back on there. All right. So you guys, start boiling your water for your noodles. because those need to be, that water needs to be hot and boiling right away. Once we start putting this all together, it comes together really, really quickly. Prepping is the part that takes the longest. We're almost done cutting up the chicken. We have 1.5 more chicken breasts to go here. And then we're gonna start rocking and rolling. I'm gonna take the camera over to the stove. We'll throw it all in together. All right, see you in a sec. Okay, we're at the stove and let's rock and roll. Turning my stove up, let's get a light on this. I got my big wok. I got my water boiling over here. We are putting in the oil. Don't be shy about the oil, okay? You don't want it to burn or stick to the bottom there. That's no good. So we're gonna let that oil heat up for just a quick second, and I guess we'll use this. You can tell that oil heats up when it moves easier. It gets thinner as it heats. If I put my ginger, so I have my ginger and my garlic in a little container right here. And it's going to be the first thing is always our oil and then our base. Like what I had up on the board when I was telling you guys the recipe. You always put your oil and your ginger and your garlic in as your base. We're gonna throw in our chicken and our onions. Okay, so that's moving pretty good. So here we go. Let's cook. So ginger and garlic. And so what we're waiting for is we're waiting for that to get brown. Just a little bit brown. This goes from good to burned in the blink of an eye. So we got the water boiling over there for the noodles. Still going here. It's not going to take long. I think we're going to throw in our onions into this here. It looks like it's starting to brown, so let's get our onions in there. The onions are going to reduce. It smells so good. It's the ginger, you guys. Ginger is a game changer for stir fries. Fresh ginger, it's really fantastic. All right, what do we need? We need to salt that a little bit. Let's put some salt on there. And what I'm going to do is in this, I'm going to throw my chicken. I want this to all cook together. I want all these flavors to come together at the same time. So we are going to throw our chicken in there. I'm going to give it a stir, and then I'm going to put the lid on it. So we got that there. My lid doesn't fit, doesn't matter. We just need to keep some of that heat in. In the meantime, we want to saute our noodles. So let's put those noodles in there. That was easy. What else? We need a different stirring utensil, I think. There's one. I hope you used cold water. Oh, good. Yeah. All right. Let's see how much. So that's a package and a half. We are going to do all the noodles. We have a lot of people eating, and leftover stir fry is delicious. Okay, so we got that. We got that going there. We got to give this a stir here. So I have my burner cranked up to high. You can already tell that the onion is minimizing. It's adding moisture to the bottom of the pan and keeping things from sticking and burning. So we're going to give that another little bit with the lid on. There. And let's check these out. So my water over here with the noodles is boiling, and I'm just going to turn the heat right off of that. It's going to keep cooking. It's going to keep cooking in the hot water, so that's going to be awesome. And when this is about cooked, our noodles will be nice and soft, and we'll be able to add them to the bottom of our big serving dish, which I'll show you guys in a few minutes. So we've turned the heat off. So let's put our lid on, and let's check out what's happening over here. All our chicken now has gone from pink to white. I want to add our cabbage because I want that to cook down. So where's the cabbage? All right. I don't want to put in the broccoli yet. I want this cabbage into here. Cabbage. Oh, I got so much of it under there. That's pretty good. We don't want these broccolis in here really. Let's grab those little fellas out. All right. give that a stir. Okay, and then the next thing that we're going to add is carrots. Actually, I'm a liar. We need some mushrooms. So let's put our mushrooms in there. I always find that mushrooms take a little bit longer to cook than what I ever give them credit for. So we'll put our mushrooms in. Just set that to the side. Mushrooms have quite a bit of water in them, so I am going to leave my stove on high, and I'm going to leave my lid off here for a minute. Everything is stirred around really good. We need to give this a minute to cook down. So what I'm going to do is I am throwing this lid on now. I am going to pause my video, and I will be back when this has cooked down a bit. Keep stirring. Okay, you guys, it has started to cook down, so we are going to now add our carrots. All right, I'm going to add some soy sauce to this, you guys. Soy sauce it's kind of salty, so it draws moisture out of the vegetables, and it also seasons it as we cook it. So I really want to put a good bit of soy sauce on there. In the meantime, I have the sauce from the stir fry put into my little shaky thing. But if you were doing the Worcestershire and brown sugar, now is when you would add the Worcestershire and the brown sugar and the soy sauce. So just as I added my soy sauce, you would also add the Worcestershire and brown sugar. And then you would see how much liquid you had in there. And depending on how much liquid you had in there is how much cornstarch you would put on. So again, we still have this cranked up to high. The very last thing that we're going to put on is the broccoli. I like my broccoli crisp, so that's why mine is going on last, but you do you. Test it out, see what you like. This is going to need a couple minutes for these carrots to soften up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, once I'm done stirring, I'm going to put my lid on. I'm going to pause my video and give it a second. We'll put the lid on, and we'll see you back here. While I was getting down my dish for the noodles, I found the cauliflower. So let's add that into there. And let's give it a stir. You guys, it smells so good. Now, I realize that my pan is quite full, And I'd just like to say, if you're cooking for a smaller group than I am, which you probably are, you probably need a lot less than I have. Fair enough. We kind of want our cauliflowers tucked down into there. Our cauliflowers need to cook. We're very close to being done. Everything is going to go there. It's going to steam. It's going to be lovely. Everything is going to soften up. Let's put our lid on. Now, over here at the side, our noodles are just about done. So, we need to get those out of there. This big container over here is what all my stir fry is going to go in at the end. So I'm just going to transfer. Now listen, it doesn't matter if there's some liquid still when you transfer. These noodles are going to absorb that. So just go ahead and let your noodles be wet when you transfer them over. Okay? All right, that's almost it for the noodles. We are going to use the pot lid, stick the lid on there, let that finish up. And then this is going to need a couple more minutes, so we'll let it have it, and then we'll talk in a minute. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take our sauce. Should give it a little shake. Actually, we need our broccoli on there. Okay. Oh, we lost the little guy. All right, then, while that's all steaming up, let's put our sauce on. So that was those packages of stir-fry sauce. All right. Oh my goodness. Something about that specific kind of stir-fry sauce just reminds me of happiness. All right, so we are now going to turn our heat down. Chook. And the reason why we keep flipping this like this is so that our sauce covers all our vegetables. You could test out one of these carrots and just see how soft or it's hot. Soft it is. You can see that the broccoli is cooking just in the heat of all the other vegetables. And that's good. It's going to be, you can tell that it's cooking because it gets brighter green. Okay, I'm going to give this a minute and then we're going to put it with our noodles and we're going to be ready to rock. Okay, you guys, this is just about it. What we're going to do is we're going to take our stir fry and we're putting it into our noodle bowl. And I'm not sure how I'm going to do that with this hot burner in the way. But basically, why don't I just get that done and show you the very end result? That's a good idea. Okay, you guys, so there's what it looks like, the final product. We're going to give it just a little bit of soy sauce. And we're all done. Enjoy your stir fry.